Mikhail, is that you in here or is that Rose? I mean, Jem.
Jen.
Jem.
Jen.
Hi.
Jen.
Welcome, everyone. We're just going to give it a few for everyone to slowly start making their way into the classroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, how are you, Antoine?
I am great. How you doing?
Good. Did I pronounce your name good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. I'm horrible with names. I see Isabella in here. Welcome back. Let me see. I'm gonna get back to my page here. Oh, this is not even mine. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just switching accounts here. What you mean login failed? Okay, there it goes. Awesome. I gotta jump. Oh, I'm gonna take a look at the chat as well right now. I got a question. I gotta jump on a console interview. Yeah, of course. You can unmute yourself. Sorry. We're in the midst of cleaning up, so I'm able to hear.
What's up, girl? How are you?
Good.
I just had a question on if this was a stall letter or not. But I can't find the picture, so hold on 1 second. I gotta find it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna send it to you right now. I sent her disputes off last week and she got this email today, but I was confused because it has a validate dispute link at the bottom.
Let me see. I gotta zoom in here a little bit. Okay.
If I need to zoom in on my side, let me know.
No, you're good. I'm able to zoom in. We received a suspicious request in the mail regarding your personal credit report. Okay, so what did you, so you submitted a dispute for the client and you mailed it in?
Yeah, she had M2 attacks sent out last week, like 10 days ago maybe, and everything was mailed in. And of course she had proof of identity, social, and proof of address.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just send this out for like a stall. I
Okay.
personally never sent in like mailed letters for clients. So I've never had this type of stall letter before, but I don't understand how they would say that it's suspicious if it was mailed in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, of course, like my address isn't on it, and I use stamps.com, so when it's generated for their specific address because I don't want to deal with stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I honestly, if they're like Metro 2 letters, I personally would recommend just doing it on the CFPB. I would have the client create their own CFPB account and I would submit those letters there.
Snap, I didn't ever think about that. I feel
Yeah.
like that's some saucy information.
Yeah, that's what I honestly, that's what I have my clients do. So everyone has to have their own CFPB account. So that way we don't run into these issues when it comes across it being suspicious or a credit company disputing for them. Because for the simple fact that they'll mark anything as suspicious activity. And especially if it's Metro 2,
Yeah.
there's a lot of coding and letters and going on in there. So they'll have no choice sometimes but to run it through. They'll have to print it off and run it through the machine. So you have either or.
Okay. Fact. So submit through the CFPB.
Yeah, you got both options. But if you end up having like a lot of issues with the stalling, or if them sending that over to you, you could just use CFPB.
Yeah, it was weird because that was the first time because I did it for my mom, my dad, and then 2 other clients, and we haven't had any issues with anybody else. So but I
Yeah, you're
appreciate
gonna come
it.
across. You're gonna come across.
Yeah, I figured. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get right into class here. So I'm gonna reclaim, Jem, I'm gonna reclaim host just so I can start sharing screen. So I wanted to introduce myself for those who probably don't know me. There might be some new faces here. I'm just taking a look at everyone. And I just wanted to share my story real quick because I know Dom was on like a quick live, or there was a class and she was getting really emotional and she was actually talking about one of her students, which was me. Because I decided to share my testimony on Instagram after my journey with Dom and Mikhail with the CIA, the Magic Eraser course. So everything that I'm like showing you guys is everything that I've personally done. And basically just like my journey from nothing, from crazy broke to now scaling to 10K months and more at this point, which is the credit repair business. But I really started out with you guys here when it came down to the Magic Eraser course. So I just wanted to share my screen real quick. I think, can I have access to share my, yeah, I can. Because everything that we're teaching you guys here within the Magic Eraser course, it was the same thing that I've done. And if you guys don't have my Instagram, I'll share that down below. Or if Rose, you have my Instagram, I think, I'm not sure, but if you can share my Instagram in the chat for peeps to follow. This is my journey here, guys. This is when I really like first started. This is when I like literally quit my job. Can you even hear my
You heard it today
Hold on.
from me. I quit my job.
So we just gonna leave that on muted, but I explained how I literally quit my job like 47 weeks ago. That was like August last year. And I had no game plan. I had no money saved up. I had no idea what I wanted to. I just knew that I purchased the CIA course, right? After I repaired my own credit. And when I did that, I was able to literally like invest back into Dom and Mikhail, into the CIA. But after doing so, right, this is where we had established the 2 LLCs at this point. I'm upgrading life, traveling. That's when things started taking off for me on social media. I had no idea what I was doing at the time with marketing, but this is again something that Dom and Mikhail goes over in the CIA Academy when it comes down to getting leads and things of that nature. So I started picking up on that. At this point, guys, that was my first 10K month, and I went to Maine and I went to go splurge on my mom. The very first thing I was able to do for her was get this really nice spa in Boston. It was a resort. Like, this is probably like the best feeling ever when you're able to do things like this. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend it on my mom. So we went to the casino, I think it was, whole spa. And then I was starting to get recognition from people that were following me from the very get-go. And if you guys don't know, I'm gonna get back to midnight here because we're gonna have to talk about Blanca. Blanca here, this is where I started, y'all. Okay, this is where I started. It's the carding, late night, didn't have no money, didn't even have money for gas, guys. I was literally about to be stranded. And I had my daughter come. After I would pick her up, here she is Instacarting with my behind. Okay, didn't even have my car no more. I crashed that bad boy. I started dog sitting at one point, and then I went back to healthcare because that's all I knew what to do. I was in healthcare for like 10 years. I went to vacation on a cruise with my family, and I was like, listen, I want this life every day. Like, I don't want to get PTO. I don't want to work for nobody else. Like, what am I gonna do, right? Like, was my like moment. And this is when I found Dom and Mikhail, purchased their Magic Eraser course at that point, started repairing my credit. This is when they came to Orlando last year, or the year before that. I met them in person at their event. And this is when they sold me because I was like, listen, they helped me fix my credit. I'm gonna go see them in person. Started fixing up my credit slowly. Everybody said that I couldn't repair my own credit, but this is when I started getting deletions. And at that point, I got awarded my first 20K credit card from Navy Fed. That's when I reinvested back into Dom and Mikhail, into their CIA. And shortly after that, like, that's when things started changing for me, like, completely. And I'm so grateful for that because now I'm here with you guys. I'm able to be here with my kids, my partner. I'm able to be involved, every single day. And in the midst of creating this testimonial, I was in the midst of looking at my angel numbers. They was all talking to me, y'all. Listen, this is when I literally started taking on clients, and now I'm scaling it to like 12K months. And this is all within a year or less, guys. This is a year or less. So everything that we teaching, this is what happened. This is when we got Midnight, got rid of Blanca. Here goes my 2024, right? This is my first victory, y'all. So at this point, y'all can check out my Instagram at some point, but I just wanted to share a little bit about myself. Everything I'm sharing with you guys is not anything that I haven't done myself or that Dom and Mikhail haven't shown me that I'm going to share with you guys. So we're going to get right into the questions here at the end. So I'm going to have everybody who does have any questions, put them in the chat because we're going to go through the basics, which is the Credit Mastery Live. We're going to go over what is, and I wanted to actually edit one of these guys. Rose, if you can take a note that I'm actually, for number one, I really want, or for number two, I want to switch the freezing of secondaries to pulling their credit report with the link, because I actually have this backwards. So the very first steps that you guys need to take, if you haven't already, make sure you have a pen and pencil and be very focused within this. If you have any distractions right now, make sure you put yourself in an area where you're able to focus. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys get the Magic Eraser course, because that's really your first step, where you're going to have like your outline, your foundation. Even if you're doing credit repair, you're going to learn so much from that course that you're going to take what you can from them and make it your own. And you're going to start learning so many disputing methods from that. It's like a spider web, but it always starts with this foundation here, which is the Magic Eraser course. The second thing that you want to do is you're going to want to pull your credit report. I get a lot of questions from my clients that book with me, or people that book with me and then message me and say, hey, I currently have Identity IQ, I have Smart Credit, is that going to work? And I clearly state within my website, my booking website, guys, that I need all my clients to sign up for my Score IQ. That's personally the credit monitoring platform I use, but you want to find a credit monitoring platform that basically is showing your FICO score. You don't want anything to show your Vantage score. Identity IQ shows your Vantage score. Credit Karma shows your Vantage score. I only use Credit Karma for simple things like checking for daily deletions, because a lot of the times for credit monitoring platforms, they refresh every 30 days. So you have to wait the full 30 days for you to see any type of result if you're disputing or if you're disputing for yourself. But if you have Credit Karma, you can go on there and see those instant deletions. Let's say you disputed a collections account for yourself. You can go onto Credit Karma and you can actually see those on there, saying, hey, this collection was removed. Like, they'll give you that daily update. They'll let you know. But anytime you're working on your credit for yourself or for anyone else, make sure that you guys get a platform that shows your FICO score. Another one that shows your Vantage score is Smart. I don't know if I run into that. Smart Credit, Credit Karma, Identity IQ. Those are the top three that a lot of you guys do use, that I know that I think you guys should get rid of. That's my personal opinion. All right. So I believe I also have the link to that if you guys decide to want to sign up. It's called My Score IQ, and the link should be in here. I don't know if Rose or Jem, you guys have the link, but if you could drop that in the chat as well. If not, I'll just hop into the website. After you guys do that and pull your credit report, you also have access to annualreport.com. You're able to get like one report every year, something like that. You can also pull your report from there. Once you're able to get a hold of your report, you are also, right? You're also going to start marking things up. But before we do that, I'm going to show you where the course is. In the credit bowl, this is how I started. I have to physically write everything down, because if not, you're going to get very confused. You're going to be all over the place, because Dom and Mikhail set that outline for you, but they give you a lot of alternatives for disputing. It's not just one way of disputing. So if you write everything down, you know where you're at, you know what method you used. So you're not going to get lost. The one thing that we do tell you is that you want to make sure that once you submit a dispute, you wait the full 30 days until you get a response back, because at that point, you know what method did not work for you. And if you end up submitting another dispute in the midst of that one dispute that you already submitted, you can either restart that reinvestigation process, and they're gonna take longer to give you results, or it just may not make sense and they won't give you any deletions because they're gonna be like, hold on. You sent identity theft. You told me this was identity theft. And now you're telling me that this account really is yours and that there's inaccurate information. But which one is it? So now they have to take longer to investigate. So before we get too far into that, once we get to the Magic Eraser course, because I like to be very thorough, you guys always want to start here. I think Dom and Mikkel also just recently added into the Magic Eraser course. They're always adding things into the course. So always pay attention to that, you know, always reference to that if they make an announcement, because you have the credit commandments. These are and also frequently asked questions. Once you guys get to the credit commandments, this is the actual guide that tells you where everything is within the course. So I'm going to scroll down here. Is this where it is? Oh, this is not the one I wanted. You do want to review the credit commandments though. There was a new one here. It was the frequently asked questions. Okay, this is in the beginning of the course. That's the one that you want to review. Under files, you're going to click on the file that they updated. These are a lot of questions that a lot of the students ask. Where can I find a phone script? They'll tell you exactly what section of the course it has that script in. Should I wait to begin disputing until after my personal info is updated or corrected? They give you that information. Excuse me. An account came back on my credit report after it was removed. What do I do? They'll let you know that as well. Like, everything is in here for you. What method can I use to remove a repo? They're going to let you know what section is in there as well. So make sure you guys never skip any modules within the Magic Eraser course, because I know you guys are ready to start disputing, but a lot of you will skip the most important information. All of it needs to make sense. You have to go through the hardships of watching these videos. If you got to watch it and fast forward it, you know, like where they start talking fast, as long as you guys can understand what they're saying, like at least you guys are going through that information. Okay, so grab their Magic Eraser course was the #1 step into repairing credit, right? Second thing was pulling your credit report. Make sure you're using a FICO score or platform or credit monitoring platform. #3, we're gonna talk about freezing secondary credit reporting agencies. Before you start disputing, you want to make sure you freeze your information so that way it stops the major credit agencies verifying the information that you're trying to dispute. So you want to wait typically 24 hours after you freeze the secondaries before you start disputing to make sure that they have that they had confirmed the security freeze. So in the course here, we're going to scroll down. You're going to scroll down to where they talk about freezing secondary reporting agencies. Once you get to this section right here, they have the list for you of the major ones that you do need to opt out of, which is LexisNexis, Innoviz, Teletrack, ARS, ChexSystems. If for whatever reason, sometimes depending on what you have on your credit profile or whatever the client has on their credit profile, if they need to opt out of other secondary credit agencies and they know which one it is, you have to opt yourself out of that one too. But if you need the full list, they have the list right below here. The full list is available to download here. They have it on the CFPB website. Once you open up the link, I think it'll take you to the new screen. Okay, we'll go back. This is the large list of consumer reporting agencies. They have it here in the PDF file as well. This is about, I think they said it was, 42, 43 pages. So if you don't know which one you need to opt out of, you're not going to know until you get denied something and they're like, hey, we verified this with, like, let's say Early Warning or ChexSystems, or they'll let you know. And if they don't let you know, you better ask, because they're supposed to tell you that information. And then you know that you need to run back to that secondary credit agencies, freeze your information or dispute whatever you need to dispute off of that, and then go back to reapply. Okay. So now that we got that out the way, so now we've frozen our secondaries, Now you want to update your personal information. This is very important. I always go over this in my credit analysis with all my clients because I've had deletions just off of personal information and I've seen score increases, major score increases just off removing old addresses and updating their names, because sometimes I'll have different variation of a client's name on there. Let's say like my full name, guys, is so long, okay? It's hyphenated, and I also have a middle name. Sometimes the credit agencies will have different variations like Denise M. Collado or Denise Oliveria or Denise M. Like, none of that is my legal name. So I had to update all this information exactly how it is on my driver's license. Dom and Mikhail go over that within, let me see, boop, boop, boop. They go over this within the very first, I hate that I have to keep going back out of here. Okay, I guess that works. So the personal information aspect of it would also be here, updating personal information on your credit report. So they give you letter templates of what you're able to utilize. Sometimes you can call in and have them update your personal information over the phone under the fraud department. If you're not able to do that, you're able to use a script, or you're able to utilize a CFPB. This is where they're able to show you how to utilize a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. If you guys are not familiar with this, this is where they go over that with you. And then you have the personal information letter template as well. And this is, again, guys, a letter template. Do not use this, you know, word for word, especially if this letter doesn't work for you and they verify the information, because a lot of the times they'll be like, hey, no, we verified this, we're not deleting it. They do it all the time, even though it's your personal information. It makes no sense, whatever. You're gonna want to highlight all of this and then make sure that the next round, let's say for round 2, you don't want to send in the same letter. You want to reword this. So you want to go to ChatGPT and ask it to reword this same letter here. You're just going to copy and paste this whole thing. Go to ChatGPT and ask it to reword this letter. At that point, you can upload that into the CFPB for the next dispute for the personal information. But make sure you guys update your personal info prior to disputing those negative accounts, for the simple fact that it could be tied to that negative old addresses that we have on file. That's why you have a hard time a lot of the times removing that negative account. Now that we've gotten the personal information out the way, now it's time to really analyze your credit report. This is where you guys want to like really study up and focus on what you're looking at on your credit report, because if you don't know what you're looking at, then don't start disputing like crazy, like, oh, I want this off, I want this off, I want this off, because you guys can do more harm than good when you start removing things that you have no idea how it's going to impact your credit score. So make sure you grab a copy of that. We talked about how you're able to utilize MyScoreIQ or any platform that uses a FICO score or your annual credit report. Make sure you get a highlighter, a pen, whatever you need to do, print off a physical copy and start pointing out or putting arrows, or if you need additional support, you don't know what account you need to dispute, take a picture of what you guys highlighted on your credit report and post it in the school community. That way we can let you know, listen, don't dispute this account off there. Like, don't do it, because you're going to make more work for yourself. So if you ever second guess it, make sure you post it in the school community and we can handle it from there. If not, you guys also have the section in the Magic Eraser course. If you're timid, you're shy, you don't want anybody to know your information of what you got going on, listen, we're all family. We know what's good. All right. So you'll scroll down here to Mastering Personal Credit. This is where you'll find reading your credit report like a pro. So if you're not sure which accounts you should be disputing, because a lot of the times you think that it's just negative accounts, it could be quite confusing, because when I first started, I thought I knew what I was disputing. I thought I knew what I'm looking at, but in reality, like that was me. Like, I disputed things I shouldn't have disputed just because I thought that removing an account, I wouldn't need to pay it anymore. That it would just go and disappear. Like, I had the power, but that wasn't true. Okay, that wasn't true, guys. If you guys remove something off your credit report, you're still liable for that debt. You're just removing the entire account off the report, so it makes you look good to when you go to the financial institutions. Okay, you're still liable for the debt, still If you remove an open auto account, you still owe that every single month. Okay, they're not gonna take the car away. They still want their money every single month. But just know that you just remove that so that way you look like you don't have so much debt on you. Okay. So, after analyzing that, now we're going to start going to repairing credit at this point. Now that you guys got all your ducks in a row, you're organized, you pulled everything out. Now we're gonna focus on inquiries. The 72-hour inquiry removal guide. That is not actually in the Magic Eraser course. I believe it's outside of it. So this is how I'm able to find it. This is my back office. If you guys don't have access to your back office, you can email support@thecreditbull.com. That way you're able to get your login credentials to get access to all of your products in the back office. But once you get here, that wasn't the one I wanted to go to. Whoops. Once you get here, this is how it's going to look like. 72-hour inquiry removal guide. They have a whole separate course, a whole section for the inquiries itself. This is the course contents. They'll give you the actual removal video walkthrough, and then they'll give you the fraud department numbers. If these numbers, for whatever reason, have updated, because over time they like to change their numbers because consumers will call in, be like, hey, I need this updated, I need this removed. They don't like when we call, so they like to switch up the numbers a lot of the times. So if that happens, just make sure you do your due diligence and Google the phone number. And I think I put in the school community the new updated fraud department numbers and how to get a hold of Experian, because Experian? Experian is the hardest one to get a hold of. And then they also give you a bonus, and this is like the guide and phone script as well. You guys have access to all the files on the right-hand side. Boom, bow, look, this is the whole guide. It's specifically for the inquiries. A lot of the times you can call in if you guys like to do that. If you cannot get a hold of or get any results, then yes, you can use some milk. Oh, no, it's gone. So yes, so if you guys don't have any results over the phone, then you guys can go ahead and utilize a guide. So that way you're able to utilize a CFPB or whatever method you need to do. Now for collections, because a lot of you guys do suffer from collections and charge-offs. Shoot, I know I do. I just had someone, let me see, I just had a debt collector text me just not too long ago saying I owe them. Guess who's gonna text them back and say, did you send me validation of debt, guy? Since you got my number. So if you guys have collections, this is, I think, where a lot of you guys struggle as well, because I do get a lot of questions. And I'm gonna show you something. Come back here. So if one method doesn't work for you guys, then that's when you start changing it up. This is where Dom and Mikhail had added so many alternatives in here. So let's say you're fresh starting off disputing and you want to dispute a collection item. So if you're going through all of these in order, watching all the videos, you're going to want to start here, disputing negative items on your credit report. They go over how you're able to utilize the CFPB and the FTC report for collections. If that does not work for you, at that point, you're going to scroll down and there's another video here where it says how to utilize consumer law to clean up your credit report. So at that point, you can use consumer law and those disputes and upload them to the CFPB. For collections, you also have cease and desist letters. If that didn't work, what, babe? Okay. If that does not work, guys, then you also have validation of debt letters, but you're not using all of these all at once. What you're doing is that you're sending this out, like, let's say today, you're waiting for 30 days to get a response to say, hey, like, we verified this, we're not deleting it. At that point, you're gonna be like, all right, well, guess what? Now I'm gonna message the collectors directly, and I'm gonna go ahead and send them validation of debt. But you have also paid for deletion letters. There's like alternate methods here. There's more than one. All right, for charge-offs, at that point, we have factual disputing. So in the, yeah, they like it cheesy. For factual disputing, they just added this way at the bottom of the course. That's why sometimes a lot of you guys struggle to find it. But once you scroll all the way down, you want to check this section out here. And there's a whole video about 42 minutes of them explaining how to factually dispute charge-offs. If you need additional resources, if the CFPB or FTC method does not work, that's where school comes into play, y'all. That's why you have us in this community, because one method is not gonna work for all. It could work for me, but not for you. So now you have to look for an alternate answer, or as I guess you could, a method, there we go. So this is where you would go here to search. And before you even search here, or charge-offs. So once you come to the search bar, you can type in charge-offs, and anybody that has had anything related to charge-offs or any results, or even go through the comments, you guys have more than enough information here. New information that may not be in the Magic Eraser course that has worked for someone else. And then we have the classroom. Mine looks a little bit different than y'all's. Hold on, classroom, boom. So once you guys get into the school community, once you get to level 6, you're gonna go to live mentorships. And this is where you're gonna see all the recordings from the beginning since we opened the school community. We have how to obtain 100K business credit with Zaki. We've had live Q&As every Wednesday with me. We've also had manufacturer spending with Angel. All right, so, but the one I really wanted to point out for the charge-offs, Angel recently just did a really good call or live. I was trying to find it for y'all in here, credit coaching. I think it was, I don't know, it was one of these file names. No, that's not it. Credit coaching. It was just recently, but we also have here how to remove collections with Angel. So I know he did a class on specific charge-offs, but you'll want to check this out here in the school community as well. For late payments, there's so many options when it comes down to this as well. One section that you're at, well, before I even go to the credit bull Magic Eraser course, one thing that you could do is the goodwill letter. So that's basically you sending a letter to the creditor. Let's say you have a late payment with Bank of America. You have like 1 or 2 late payments. You had a hardship. You explain your whole situation to them, and then you send it directly to the company. If that goodwill letter does not work, you have the billing error, right? Under 15 US Code 1666. I'm gonna go over that in a few minutes, but I really wanted to consumer law, delete the whole account. Okay. So along with the goodwill, if they actually don't delete this, you're also able to find the CEO's email. And that's also here in the Magic Eraser course of where you're able to find and leverage those email addresses. Dawn does like a whole video on them. And then she also has those goodwill late letter templates. I can't believe I was not able to say that. So I'm gonna find that for y'all in here. Disputing. Okay, right here, late payment removal. And this is the section where if you don't know where to find the CEO's email, this is the section that you'll want to check out. And she'll let you know the website that you need to go to. Oh, I hate that. It just like removed me out the whole section. So now, once we do that, they also have the goodwill letter templates here. They have more than one. So they have more than one here that you guys are able to utilize. Once you open this, you're just going to input your information here. Again, if you guys don't like what is in here for whatever reason, or you just want to switch it up, again, copy this whole thing, put it into ChatGPT, which is my best friend, and ask it to reword that letter for you. Now, if the goodwill letter does not work, you have 15 US Code 1666B or 1666. Fine, law. Because Cornell law should also be your best friend when it comes down to consumer law. This is where the consumer law comes into play. This is the correction of a billing error. If the original creditor did not mail you a statement 21 days before your actual due date, that would be a billing error, and they're actually supposed to update your late payment to positive. So that's one way to go about it as well. There was one other one here, consumer law based on transactions. Okay, and then another, if for these accounts, if you have more than 1 to 2 late payments, it's very difficult for them to reverse it back to good standing. We've had some results in the school community where they had more than 2 and they were able to reverse it. But you can see their process on the school community if you look that up. But you're able to, you would want to delete the whole account at that point and just replace it with a positive account if that whole account needs to go. Let's say you have about 8 late payments, they're all consecutive. At this point, you have too many to count. You want that whole account gone at that point. You don't want it on there, period. And you would utilize at that point, Analia. At that point, you would utilize disputing negative accounts. Let me go back to, I really don't want it to go back, and it's gonna go back all the way. Mastering personal credit. Okay, at this point, this is where you would dispute that whole account off. Let's say for that late payment, you would want to utilize this section here, disputing negative items on your credit report. Now for bankruptcies, if you have clients or you're struggling with a bankruptcy yourself, you still want to follow everything within the courses here in order, but there is a specific section here that we go over in class how to deal right here, bankruptcy removal guide. There's just so many courses here. Let's see, 74 lessons, y'all. 74 lessons and still ongoing because they're still adding over time to this course. So you guys really have everything that you need in here. So the bankruptcy removal guide, they did, I think it was a whole ebook on this. Yes, it's a whole guide that you're able to utilize specifically for the bankruptcy, because the bankruptcy itself, there's actual extra steps that you need to take in order for this to be removed. You know, obviously one of the first things is freezing out the correct secondary credit agencies. And then you want to actually contact the actual bankruptcy court that holds this and request them to mail you a letter stating that they don't report this information to the credit agencies. And at that point, you're going to want to utilize that against the credit agencies when you start disputing. So Dom and Mikhail go into depth and into detail about this whole process. And let's say you were disputing accounts and accounts were actually ended up, or the accounts actually ended up back onto your credit report. There is a solution for that as well. And let's say you couldn't remember where that is in the course. Remember what I had mentioned to you guys upon the frequently asked questions? Well, that's one of the frequently asked questions. What do I do if an account gets reinserted? It's on here. You're just gonna find it here. Let's see. I'm struggling with method. Dispute for collections. Hold on, I know it's in here. Need to authorize user trade lines. I go back up. Okay, an account came back on my credit report after it was removed. What do I do? Look, that's question number 3. So you know that it was asked pretty frequently. In here, it states that you will want to refer to the account reinsertion law. So you would want to use Cornell law for those reinsertions, because pursuant to 15 U.S. Code 1681I, what happens is that the credit agencies, they need to follow certain guidelines before they can just go ahead and reinsert an account back into your credit report. They actually need to mail you something in the mail within, I think, 5 business days it was. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull that law up for you guys so you guys can see it. They're supposed to mail you a statement letting you know that they actually reinserted that on there. They need to let you know what evidence they have, actual supporting documents that they have for them to put that back onto your credit report. So there's certain things that they need to do. So if they reinserted that account back on there, this is the law that you'll want to utilize. and get them and violate them for, because a lot of the times they don't even bother to do any of this. So I'm gonna pull that up for y'all, so you can see it for yourself. Boop. So procedure in case of disputed accuracy. This is my favorite, honestly, and you guys may want to read through this whole thing because it's not just about reinsertions, but we're gonna scroll down to the reinsertion. Let's go right here. Requirements relating to reinsertion of previously deleted material. Right here. Notice to the consumer, because this is what the accrediting agencies need to do. If any information that has been deleted from a consumer's file is reinserted in the file, the consumer reporting agency shall, so they need to, notify the consumer of the reinsertion in writing no later than 5 business days after the reinsertion. All right, that's one thing that they're supposed to do. The additional information that they also need to provide is stated below. So it's not just a statement in the mail within 5 business days. They also shall provide to the consumer a statement that the disputed information has been reinserted. They also need to provide the business name and address of any furnisher of information, of who they contacted, and the telephone number of such furnisher, right? And I like to be extra, so I also want to know the person you spoke to. So give me their full legal name. What's their first name, middle initial, last name? I need all of it, okay? I need all of it. All right, and then they need the supporting information or supporting documents in connection with the reinsertion of such information. So I'm not gonna read all of this to y'all, but this is all the additional information that they need to do in order for them to reinsert an account. But a lot of times they just reinsert that bad boy in there and that's it, thinking that uneducated consumers will not do anything about it. But the educated ones are the ones that get those deleted right back off because we know our rights at this point. All right. So I just want to make sure I covered all bases. So at this point, guys, if for whatever reason you are not getting any results or disputing is not your thing, or you just want to be hands off, you don't have the time, because I know I didn't, you can hire me and my team to dispute for you. You can schedule a free analysis with me. I'm going to drop the link below. You also can find me in school. I'm always doing these live Q&As every Wednesday. I believe Angel does them every Mondays now at 8 p.m. And let me make sure that I got that right, because again, I'm sure y'all.
9,
9.
Denise. Yeah. Monday, 9.
Yes. Okay. So they're Mondays at 9. They used to be out on Fridays, y'all, but they're actually on Mondays now. And then if you guys don't have the Zooms, you guys have access to the calendar here. And once you click on those 9 p.m.s, it's going to give you the actual link. I'm also sharing free value all the time, but make sure you guys book with me, because I've had actually a lot of clients lately from the community, and we've been getting the results in as little as 30 days, which is beyond me. And a lot of the times they're like, how did you do it? Because I've been disputing this myself, but I just don't know. Like, I didn't even think I was going to be doing credit for people. I didn't even want to dispute for credit. But after, listening to Donna McKell and actually taking what I learned from the Magic Eraser course, guys, I made it my own. And at this point, like, I'm just really good at it. And I just want to bless everyone with affordable credit repair. So make sure to tap in. And I'm going to start taking questions for any of those who need additional support. I'm going to start looking into the chat here. And then also feel free to unmute yourselves. Let me see. Info charge us. Oh, you're welcome, Judah. All right, so I don't see any questions in the chat. Do any of you guys have any questions? Yes, Antoine, you can go ahead and unmute.
Okay. My question is, if you sent your information in for your personal information to be corrected and you didn't hear anything back, is the follow-up to that, to call and use the script?
You can, so you can also call in and follow up with them. You can also utilize the CFPB, and there's gonna be an option where it states that the credit reporting agencies did not get back to you in 30 days. I'm gonna see if I'm able to like pull that up for you guys. I'm just not gonna share my screen just yet because, you know, there's personal info on there. But do you utilize the CFPB? Oh, of course, it's not gonna work for me.
I have not at this point.
Okay.
You just froze up.
I get all of my results for myself and for clients all on the credit, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let me see, start a new complaint. I'm just trying to get to the point here where you guys can't, okay, there, so I'm gonna start sharing. Let me see, share. So if for whatever reason, let me know if you're able to see my screen.
We can see it.
Okay, perfect. So this is a CFPB. If you don't have an account with them, you're able to like go to the website and create an account, very easy. And then you're gonna click on submit a complaint. So once you're here, you're gonna click on credit reporting. Credit reporting. And then I like to, if I already submitted a dispute for a client or for myself, and I'm coming back again to do another round, I always click here where it says problem with the company's investigation into an existing problem. And then here it says investigation took more than 30 days. That would be the option that I would choose if they never responded within that 30-day mark.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Did that help? Hopefully I answered your questions.
Yes. Another question.
Yes.
You're just getting started like myself. You don't have you want to do this as a business, but you do not have any receipts or a few receipts. Because you know how folks want to see receipts. They want to
Mhm.
see, you know what I mean, that you're a professional and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
What would you suggest if you're starting at that point?
At that point, I didn't have any receipts. At that point, I honestly started doing my partners. Oh, I seen that I was frozen, but hopefully you guys see me now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I started doing my partners credit at first. I started doing my family members and friends credit. So that way I could start getting some type of results. I even would use my own results as testimonies. They don't need to know that that's your family. They don't need to know that that's your friend, your mama, your grandpappy. We just know that you got some results. So if I were you, I would just start using your own results if you're in the midst of disputing for yourself, and then start doing your family members or your friends, anybody that you're able to take on who's interested in free credit repair, and start using those testimonials.
Okay. Last question.
Of course, should it?
What's the program that the Bennett's have that has everything, like a total done for you type situation? That has everything in it. Soup to
Okay,
nuts.
is that for like the business itself, like the credit business?
Correct.
Yeah, I can actually drop that link in there for you. I have it within, it's basically like the done with you funnels. So they set up your whole automations for you.
Yes.
And if that's what you're interested in, here we go. I'm just gonna drop that for you. Then we could take a look. Oops, that wasn't supposed to be a direct message. Okay, so that's the link for well, that's actually the CIA Academy in general. If you're already in the academy,
Yes, I am.
then this is actually the incorrect link. You want the done for you funnel. Boop. There we go. Then we have the done with you funnels, which is the second link.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend that because that's what I had Dom and Mikkel do for me. I was like, listen, I'm trying to hit the ground running. I was like, just set everything up. I'll figure it out how to do it after. Graphics and all, they'll do it all for you.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about doing the same thing that you did, which was just
Literally, I literally quit my job with no like sense of direction, no money. Okay. I didn't even know that I wanted to do the CI. I didn't even have the CI at that moment. I just had the Magic Eraser course. So, at that point, like the fact that you are already know the direction you want to go in, you're gonna hit this out the park. Good to go. Let me see. What about the Experian backdoor dispute? I'm not sure what you mean by the Experian backdoor dispute. I'm not familiar with that. I've seen it a few times on Instagram. I don't know if it's, sometimes they'll have trending or like hot disputing methods that don't get played out until they do, and then it doesn't work. So I'm not sure if that's one of them, but I can't tell you about that because I haven't personally used it myself. Let me see, Matthew. If you get something deleted, can apartment complexes, dealerships see what has been removed from our reports? No. So once it's removed, it's removed. There is a possibility that an account can come back and get reinserted, but at that point, because you're an educated consumer now, like you are in control of your own credit report. So if later down the line something pops back into your credit report, guess what? You can dispute it and delete it yourself again. So that way it works out in your favor. You're not disputing or deleting the or discharging the debt itself. You still, allegedly still owe this, but it's not reporting on there. I want to show her you were, oh, yes, for sure. I appreciate that, Matthew. Hi, Matthew's wife.
I have another question.
Yeah,
Do you have VA?
I do.
What
Yes.
was that process like when you initially got that started?
So that's something actually Dom and Mikkel also assisted with. That's not something that they market, but they do assist with placing VAs within your business. So it was very easy for me because they handle everything on the back end and everything just ran smoothly for me. So I didn't have any worries. I didn't have to do the posting. They find them for you, place them. They'll actually do the interviews for you as well. And then you get to pick and choose who's, obviously good for your company and your business model. Yeah, they got the whole they got everything you could possibly think of. Okay, they will set you up. Awesome.
So I can literally get them to set up pretty much everything, and all I just focus on is just growing the business.
Correct. So you would handle, so they do we call it the done with you, because you still have to provide like the videos of yourself and your graphics and things. They put everything up together for you though, your calendars, your automations, basically like your appointment reminders for your clients. You just need to learn how to work on your business on the back end with the platform. You need to know how to do that. And you just got to focus on, your leads. You'll have everything set up for you. And then you'll also want to know the direction you want to go with your VA. If that's something that you want to do, you need to know how to train them. And from there, you're good to go.
How long did it take you to train your VA?
Not long, to be honest, because we used Loom training videos.
Okay.
So what we do is that anything that you personally do, because you can't expect your VA to know or get onboarded to know what you do or how you like things to be done. So I just used Loom. I did everything from there. And then we would have like not training videos, but we would hop on calls and discuss anything that they're struggling with. You just want to be open with them, but it didn't take long. Not long at all. Right, Rose? Because Rose is my VA. Rose is in here somewhere.
Yep. Denise is a good boss.
I'm about to say, don't lie on me, Rose. Yeah, so honestly, it was very smooth and everything works out within your favor as long as you are open with communication and you know how you like your business to be ran, then there shouldn't be any issues.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. I'm just saying the question here, Jonathan, EWS told me that they cannot freeze reports. Is this accurate? Early warning services. I never had to deal with them. So they're saying they cannot freeze. I'm actually gonna look up myself. Early warning services. Oops. Freeze. I think I've heard of this before, or someone else having an issue with this. Oh no, it will not be able to. Consumer early warning services. Let's see. How to request your report. We see that. Example, dispute checklist. I'm honestly not sure of the answer of that. What I could do is I'm gonna take note of that. And also, if you want to look within the school community to see if anyone else has had any luck getting those frozen, reach out to them directly. But I'm gonna also reach out to Dawn and Mikkel to see if they were able to have any issues with freezing those. Also, I haven't gotten confirmation from Experian through the CFPB that they received my dispute. Should I call them? It's been a week. Yeah, I would definitely call, and you want to be very, very direct. Have your complaint number that the CFPB gave you in hand and the date that you submitted it. Because more than half the time, the CFPB, like, they're very slow. From what I realized from how many disputes that we handle, the clients always gets their results or their response back from the credit agencies via mail first before they ever get it in the CFPB. The CFPB is like the last to know, it's the last to update, and they take freaking forever. Like, we're on like round 3 for a client and they still haven't even closed or updated the first round on the CFPB. Okay, so that's normal. They're very, they lag. As long as it's open, just go ahead and keep calling them. They can only provide a report in dispute. Okay, yeah, so that's what I've seen on their website. I did go to the early warning services and basically it says that you're able to request it. I don't see anything about freezing. They may be partnered up with another secondary platform. I've seen that as well, where you can freeze, like let's say, for example, LexisNexis was like associated with early warning services. Let me see here. You would have to basically freeze your LexisNexis for your early warning services to be frozen. Like, hopefully that makes sense. But you can also check out the list that I had shown in the Magic Eraser course, the section where it says freezing secondaries. Let me pull that up here. Let me know if you already checked that out. But they should have a specific link. Hold on, I'm gonna share my screen again, guys. Share screen. Okay, so this is what I would do. Like, let's say, obviously, because I don't know the answer to this, but I'm trying to, I really want you to get the answer to see if, I really want to know, can you freeze? So I'm gonna go down to freezing secondaries, and then I'm gonna go to the large list of reporting agencies on the CFPB. And I want to find early warning services on here. And I think it's by ABC. So this is Accurate, early warning services. This is Blend, Checker, Experian, Verify. Hold on, we gonna find this today because now you got me. Hold on, tenant screening. These are all the websites here. First Advantage, Rent Grow, Screening, TransUnion. Oh my gosh. Okay, right here. Early warning services. As you guys can see, this one's to check in bank accounts and screenings and things like that. So there's check systems, and then here's early warning services. So check acceptance, early warning is co-owned by Bank of America, Capital One, JP Morgan Chase. Jesus, the major banks got that one, so that's why you're probably having a hard time. The company will provide one free report every 12 months if you request it. And then, yeah, this is the same website that I actually was on, so you may just be able to, yeah. So what you're gonna have to do is that you can't freeze early warnings. What you have to do is you're gonna have to request your report from them directly, and you're gonna have to dispute that negative information that's causing you those denials. Whoever is being able to verify that information with early warnings, and you would utilize the same disputing method that's in the Magic Eraser course, which is under disputing negative accounts. That is a section that you want to go to right here. This is the disputing method you want to use. The same thing when you pull your report from early warning services to get that removed.
Denise, do those guys, do they have a statute of limitation for that also?
No, the secondaries, no. That's really, I think, more for the collection agencies.
Okay.
Should I work on check systems and warning services while I'm disputing on my credit as well? If you know that you have, if you don't have good relationships with previous banks and you left them in like negative standing or like, you're not able, that they ended up closing out the account because it has to do with banking. If you know that you have something on there, then yes, I would focus on opting out of check systems and then requesting your report from early warning services to see what is reporting on there, because it's going to stop you from getting other bank accounts with other major banks. So these are good questions, guys. Yeah, they told me they can only provide, okay. Jonathan, I hope I was able to answer your question there. And hopefully you're all good to go. You too as well, Glenn. Did anyone else have any questions regarding tonight's course? Awesome. You're welcome, Jonathan. Awesome, guys. So yeah, so Rose just posted in here, guys. So if you don't have the Magic Eraser course, make sure to do so. Click the link below. If you need a new credit monitoring platform, you have MyScoreIQ. I put that link there. And this is the free credit analysis link. If you guys need to schedule a free consultation with me, make sure you book down below. And then also, if you're here, but you're not a part of the school community and you want to get the additional support, the perks, the resources, the additional trainings from Donna McKell, make sure to use the school community link down below. And then we can't forget the VA. So if you need a VA placed in your business, go ahead and click the link below. Even if you are not going to move forward with one right now, make sure you click the link and save it. You could put it, copy, paste it into your notes. If you need to refer back to it, you got it. Of course. What's up, Jonathan? While we wait for Jonathan's question here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know. I think it was faster just to talk. Are you
That's
doing all
okay.
right today?
Yeah, I'm all right. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a question. I heard you mention a method about, say, I think it was when you trying to get a late payment removed, and you said you should write in a letter, and they should told them before they add that they should have sent the letter out to you. Something I think I missed it. I heard something of that nature.
Yeah, so there's like, I'm gonna pull it back up here. So
Okay.
what happens is that there's like multiple methods that you could use for late payments. So one of them was a goodwill letter. So you can actually send a goodwill letter to the actual creditor who gave you that late payment. And you can let them know, hey, listen, I was going through a hardship. I really didn't even have the money or the funds at the time. I wasn't working. And sometimes they'll be willing to reverse that late payment for you. If they did not, right?
Okay.
Then at that point, you can utilize, exit all of these out because, yeah. This is the law that you're able to utilize, which is correction of billing errors. 15 US Code 1666B. You'll want to take a look at this and study up on this because what the creditor is supposed to do is that they're supposed to mail you a statement in the mail 21 days before your actual due date. And if they don't do that, because let's say for whatever reason, you're not opted into actual physical mail or actual physical statements, they won't mail it to you. So
Okay,
if you didn't get that in the mail, you're able to utilize this specific law within your dispute letter.
okay, great, okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Last question.
Yeah, sure. Give them all to me. This is what I'm here for.
Which percentage are you using factual disputing opposed to Metro 2, opposed to consumer law?
It's a personal preference. I never used Metro 2 for any of my clients or for myself. At first, when I first learned about it, I thought it was like actually really cool and a cool another method I didn't even know about. Because at the time, I wasn't really getting any results with Cornell law, which is like the verbiage consumer law. But that was because I didn't take the time to study up on all the laws. Thelma McHale do mention a few of them within the course, but there's so many more that we're not even aware of. You just want to go to Cornell law itself and look into like Truth in Lending, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. For me, I just use consumer law and factual disputing. Like I like to factually dispute. I put law verbiage in there, and then I also utilize the FTC reports as well.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you guys have access to ask all your questions. Hopefully I answered most of them tonight for you guys. We do have these every Wednesday. I had to think about that because I was thinking about Angel's class now Mondays, but we have them every Wednesday. I'll be here at 8 p.m. If you guys don't have any questions, we're gonna end tonight's live. I appreciate everyone for coming out. I'll make sure to tap in this week and next. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Later.